the back end will slide out when you provoke it. Welcome to the Driver Reviews channel. I'm Vicki Butler-Henderson, and today we are looking at something rather rare. It is the MG Cyberster, and it is one of the very few two-seater convertible electric cars you can buy. Prices for the two model lineup start with this, the trophy, for around £55,000, going through to £60,000. Before you settle down and watch, please press like and subscribe so that you're notified each time we post something new. MG has been in existence for over a century, and it once was a pillar of the British car industry. Today it is run by the state-owned automotive Chinese giant SAIC. Paying our respects to this car's ancestors, we've come to the home of the MG Owners Club, the world's largest single-mark car club. Until now, the 1960s MGB has been the poster car for this company's Roadster range. Today's interpretation is more aerodynamic, it takes up more space, and it is way more theatrical. Take a look at this. As well as adding drama and making the car look 3 times as expensive, the door design does allow you to get just a little bit closer to others in a car park. But you can open and close the roof anywhere you like, including up to 30 miles an hour. It is electric, of course, and takes 15 seconds to go up or down. There's also the modern must-have of a wind deflector to reduce the buffeting of your bouffant. Now, whilst there's no space whatsoever in the front of the car for luggage, you do get 249 litres in the back. But the shape isn't conventional because it has to work around the roof's resting place, so best pack some squashy bags when you go away. I have managed to get a guitar and a hockey stick in here, so it is very long. We have to just pause here for a moment and admire this fantastic rear end. I think there's a mix of a Jaguar, Alfa Romeo and even Maserati in here. Bravo, MG! There are 32 different roof and body colour combinations to choose from, but they all come with this contrasting black trim down at the bottom. We would love to know what you think about this car's looks, so please let us know in the comments section. And keeping this MG Cyberster trophy on the tarmac are a set of 19-inch lightning design alloys which fill the arches really well. The wheels are surrounded by Pirelli P0 tyres, which have a rating of 4.6 out of 5 stars from thousands of drivers on DriverReviews. Whatever car you drive, the only thing keeping you in contact with the tarmac are the tiny contact patches on the tyres, so choosing the right set of tyres is absolutely crucial. But searching for them can be stressful and confusing. If you need help in getting new tyres for your car, then go to DriverReviews.com, where you will see thousands of real-life reviews covering all the top brands written by drivers just like you. Also, check out the winners of our latest Customer Choice Tyre Awards. Getting into this MG really is a bit of fun. The doors open via the key fob, or once you're inside you can use these levers here. And when you are in, I would not blame you if you just sat here opening and closing the doors until the battery ran out. Never has an MG been so exotic, and I should know. I once owned an MG Metro. Just a word of caution here though, even when you've got the roof closed, these doors do give a big bit of access to the outside weather. So if it is pouring down with rain, you can't hurry up and shut the doors. You just have to wait. But once they are closed, you, as the driver, are very much the centre of attention. There's this wraparound triple screen cockpit which gives you a host of information, and most of it you can do by touch, so I'll have to take my gloves off for that. The 3-spoke multi-functional wheel is heated, one of the best inventions ever in my book, though these controls take some getting used to. For example, these dials here, they need to be pushed around rather than turned, which would be more logical. There's a 4th screen here in the centre console, and that alters most of the settings from the aircon through to the traction control. And the passenger can't really get involved here either because of this big grab handle that blocks them. I'm hoping this signals adventures ahead. Now, this car is being marketed as a GT car, a Grand Tourer, and that title is normally given to the likes of Bentleys. And yes, whilst the Cyberster has creature comforts like an armrest and electric lumbar support in its leather-esque seats, it would be wrong to compare it to the big GT hitters. When it comes to tech and connectivity, there's the expected Apple CarPlay, which pairs your phone to the car, and there are a couple of USB ports, although these are hidden under the armrest, and there is no wireless phone charging, which is a useful feature and one I would expect here. A couple of nice features are the cup holders, which are nicely damped, particularly on their way back up. And also there's the vanity mirror with this cute little magnet flap to keep it open. There is a parking camera, which is great, but the screen for it is over on the right, which isn't the most intuitive place for it. Plus, as you can hear, this car beeps a lot. You can turn most of it off, but there is a little camera and a sensor in here which really tells you off if you take your eyes off the road for more than, 1 or 2 seconds. And quite frankly, it's doing my nut in, so I'm actually going to block it with a little bit of gaffer tape. When it comes to practicality in here, there is a bit of storage space behind the seats, but it's only really big enough for a couple of work bags. Overall, I would love to have seen a splash of colour in here to keep that wow factor going. Even my MG Metro had red seats. Still, I will have to just make do with this. The flagship Cyberster is called the GT, and it is 4-wheel drive and is the most powerful MG ever, with 500 horsepower and a 0 to 62 time of 3.2 seconds. This one isn't quite as potent. It's got 340 horsepower, 475 Newton meters of torque, but it's still got quite a brisk 0 to 60 time of 5 seconds. Now that is also helped by launch control, which I shall demonstrate now. So, traction control is off in sport. Here we go. Things are happening on the dash. There was a little turning of a wheel there, and it squeals along. So that is quite brisk, as you'd expect with an electric car. Everything gets sort of dumped on you as soon as you hit the throttle, so it is quick. These 2 little paddles behind the steering wheel don't operate pretend gears like you would see in the Hyundai Ioniq 5N hatchback, for example. And you can see a review of that car by pressing the link on the screen, but stick with me for the moment and the MG. And these little paddles here, or the left one is for regenerative braking, and the one on the right goes through your driving mode. So you've got sport, custom, comfort, and that basically alters the throttle response and the steering response depending on your mood. Most importantly, this Cyberster is rear-wheel drive, which is my preferred layout and, of course, the blueprint for sports cars, because it means that the power goes to the back wheels and the front ones are left simply to steer. Turn the traction control off and the back end will slide out when you provoke it. But when it does, it's a bit rudimentary and lacks the grace of something like, a Porsche Boxster, or even a Porsche Taycan, which is fully electric and of course 2-3 times the price. But it just needs to be a little bit more graceful and delicate. Asking the car to be this dynamic makes the steering become clumsy. And also, depending on the weather conditions and the tarmac, the tyres sort of become the sound of a squealing cat because there's no engine noise to deaden or dampen that sound at all. And it is quite funny on occasions. Love that sound. This car weighs twice as much as the original MGB. So today it weighs almost 1,900 kilograms. Underneath it all is MG's electric platform, called, if you want to get your geek on, the Modular Scalable Platform, MSP, and it's the underpinnings for many different body shapes to come. It was first seen in the MG4 hatchback. This MG doesn't have the crisp handling of a hatchback or a Roadster, and when you start pushing it, that's when I feel that the car is wrapped in, like a jumper, and it diminishes the sensation of being engaged with and an essential part of the car. And the suspension gets a bit out of its depth, leaving you with the aftershock of big bumps long after you've left them behind. However, this isn't such a bad thing because the soft, spongy suspension forces you to slow down, to match the talents of the car, and to enjoy the sights, the smells, and the sounds. If you want to go even slower, then the big Brembo brakes have got a lovely damped feel to the pedal and are a joy to use. So how far can you go between charges? Well, the official figure is 316 miles, which is 40 miles more than the high-performance GT Cyberster. However, you can plug both models into a rapid charger and go from 10% full to 80% in 38 minutes, which isn't great. But a 7-year, 80,000 mile warranty is pretty good. I think I'm a pretty good height for this car. I'm 5'5.5", but anyone sort of over 6 foot, you really need to drive this car before you buy it, because I've got the seat in the lowest position and you might end up with a, little bit of a cold forehead. The Cyberster is a very credible halo car for MG. Those doors give it the wow factor big time. There is nothing on the market yet for that price. But underneath the spaceship sizzle is a compact GT car that performs at its best at a gentle pace. Thank you so much for watching Driver Reviews today. Please let us know your thoughts about the Cyberster in the comments section, and please press like and subscribe so that you're notified each time we post something new.